The future of Max Verstappen at Red Bull is now shrouded in doubt following a dramatic turn of events at the Austrian Grand Prix. The reigning four-time world champion is increasingly being linked with a blockbuster move away from the team, with growing speculation that he could don Mercedes colours come 2026. This chatter has only intensified after recent public comments by George Russell and Toto Wolff, both of whom have openly addressed the idea as a realistic possibility. If this move does happen, it could upend the entire Formula One landscape. But perhaps more pressing is the question, what would it mean for Red Bull? The dismal showing in Austria made it painfully obvious why these rumours about Verstappen and Mercedes aren't going away. The Dutch star didn't even make it past the third corner, an early exit that can't be pinned on car setup or team decisions. Instead, it reflects the broader reality. He's likely out of serious contention for this year's championship. The current Red Bull package appears clearly inferior to the likes of McLaren, and in a season this tight, mistakes like these are lethal to title hopes. Looking ahead, the chances of Max reclaiming the crown in 2025 already look bleak. There were plenty of reasons Verstappen could have exploded with rage after Andrea Kimi Antonelli's aggressive lunge into turn 3. Yet what we witnessed instead was calm restraint. Max chatting and even embracing the rookie post-incident. You're probably thinking, this is a new version of Verstappen, more composed and measured. True. But in the past, those rookie encounters never cost him as much as this one potentially has. The stakes are much higher now, and the pressure is piling up. Austria also reignited a critical conversation. How much more of this will Max tolerate? His frustration was already bubbling before the race even started. Over the radio, he lamented the RB20's lack of grip in every type of corner, be it fast, medium, or slow. Red Bull came into their home race with high expectations and fresh upgrades. The result? 0 points in both championships. A nightmare scenario on their home turf. For Max, it's especially bitter. He now holds just a slim 9-point lead over George Russell and could easily fall to 4th in the standings by the summer break. If that happens, expect Verstappen's infamous exit clause to become the centerpiece of every F1 headline. It could trigger the sport's next massive driver shake-up. Speaking of that potential shake-up, Toto Wolff and George Russell have already laid the groundwork for what could be the most high-profile signing in years. Both have indicated that a move to Mercedes isn't out of the question for Max. Wolff claims to be content with his current driver lineup, but the mere acknowledgement of discussions with Verstappen reveals that the interest is real. In addressing the possibility, Wolff explained, "Within the team, we've always maintained a policy of transparency. That hasn't changed. Yes, we're exploring future options as we must, but it doesn't alter my view on George, on Kimi. We've got a strong lineup I'm proud of. That said, these discussions need to happen behind closed doors, not in the public eye. I've dealt with intense teammate battles before. Just look at Rosberg and Hamilton fighting for the title. Everything else since then has been manageable. There are upsides and downsides to having two fierce competitors under one roof, and we've seen it go both ways." Toto's careful tone is no accident. He's well aware that even a glimmer of hope to land Verstappen is worth pursuing. But it's when Helmut Marko speaks that things start to sound more urgent. While Marko's recent statements seem designed to reassure fans, the comparison he drew between Max's situation at Red Bull and the allure of Mercedes only added more intrigue. Marko stated that the constant speculation around Verstappen's future was getting tiresome, pointing out that Max is under contract with Red Bull through 2028. He emphasized that as long as Red Bull provides a competitive car, Max has no reason to leave, and he enjoys far more freedom than he would at Mercedes. Still, it's hard to ignore that Marko felt the need to defend Verstappen's commitment at all. Let's not forget, Max has previously hinted he'd walk away if the team parted ways with Marko during their internal power struggle. That issue may have been resolved for now, but with Verstappen's patience running thin, his own next move could be just around the corner. Realistically, things aren't looking too bright for him at Red Bull. With Silverstone coming up, a track layout that plays right into McLaren's hands, it's hard to imagine Red Bull turning the tide anytime soon. Sure, they've made marginal gains in areas like tyre degradation, but compared to their rivals, their upgrades just aren't hitting the mark. That's precisely why Verstappen might feel it's time to close this chapter and seek a fresh start elsewhere. If he does, the so-called rule of three at Mercedes won't hold up. Someone will have to make way, and the logical sacrifice would be George Russell. It's not personal, but if your other option is a generational talent like Antonelli, who's already being hyped as the next Verstappen, the decision becomes obvious. Russell may be consistent, but Mercedes likely won't walk away from a future superstar after just one season. George, for his part, understands exactly what's at stake. He's even addressed how Verstappen's uncertain status is slowing down contract finalizations. In his own words, it's only natural that talks with someone like Max are happening. But honestly, if I'm delivering on track, I don't have much to worry about. There are 2 seats in every team. Toto has told me my performances are right up there. The only person who you can even compare with me on merit is Max. That's what he said, not me. So I'm not concerned. It's up to him to decide who he wants in those 2 seats. But not everyone is buying into Russell's narrative. Helmut Marko chief among them. The Red Bull advisor dismissed George's remarks as hypothetical chatter. In response, he said, "What's gotten into Russell lately? I thought his seat was secure for next year. Has something changed since Montreal? Maybe that win rattled him. Honestly, I don't know. He talks a lot. It's all theoretical." From this lens, the speculation around Max to Mercedes does still feel like a thought experiment. But the fact that both Russell and Wolff are now publicly addressing it marks a departure from Mercedes' usual policy of quiet, last-minute extensions. It's increasingly clear Verstappen is a serious target. The outcome of the next few races may dictate whether the Brackley outfit pushes all its chips in. As for Russell, those what-if conversations he and Toto once had about possible lineup shifts may be back on the table. If Max exits Red Bull, the team can't simply promote a junior and expect to stay competitive. Yes, Isaac Hadjar has shown speed in the feeder series and Liam Lawson proved his mettle in Austria, but succeeding in F2 or a one-off race doesn't guarantee performance at the Red Bull level, which leaves Red Bull with few viable options. A seasoned outside recruit might be their only real choice. If George isn't part of Red Bull's plans, then Aston Martin could pounce. The Silverstone-based outfit has made it clear that they see Russell as a potential cornerstone of their 2026 project. And Lawrence Stroll knows opportunities to sign top-tier talents like Russell or Verstappen don't come around often. Given everything that's unfolding, don't be surprised if we see a bold move from Toto Wolff in pursuit of securing either Russell or Verstappen, whichever best serves Mercedes' future ambitions. With all that in play, we want to hear from you. How likely do you think it is that Verstappen ends up in silver over red? And more importantly, has Russell's time at Mercedes quietly started ticking down? Drop your thoughts in the comments section below, and once you're done, be sure to check out the next video that's popping up on your screen right now.